First-party data is such an important part of the media landscape today. If we think about all of the changes that are happening, both in terms of fragmentation and also in terms of privacy, having really accurate first-party data is critical for advertisers who want to reach their audiences and measure the results. If we think about TV specifically, there's different types of first-party data. There's first-party identity and understanding who is actually consuming the content and which ads are they actually viewing. And then there's also first-party viewing data and ad exposure data. All of that is really important on the sell side. As it relates to the buy side, advertisers have first-party audience segments they want to reach in terms of their target buyers. And then they also have outcomes and purchases and website visits and other types of first-party outcomes. All of that needs to come together, and it needs to do it in a way that is highly accurate and with consistency. And that's really the role that Blockgraph has been focused on helping the industry do.
So let's talk about strategies, investment strategy around addressable, and how do you ensure that advertisers' brand dollars are invested the right way?
It's a really good question. I think it really comes down to measurement and actually understanding the outcomes that addressable is driving towards. So actually reaching an audience is one thing, and it's a really important thing as it relates to media. But in order for advertisers to have the confidence that their media is driving the right results, they need great attribution, and they need to be able to tie their business outcomes, whether it's a purchase, a website visit, a survey, a brand uplift. They need to be able to tie that to the actual addressable ad exposure. So did that ad actually drive the result? And that's really important for advertisers to have that consistency throughout the process of bringing together the outcomes with the impressions.
So Jason, what do you think are some of the more important trends or developments around technology, around strategy, around things that have the biggest impact on identity targeting and measurement and addressability? We hear a lot about AI, obviously. We hear a lot about new sources of first-party data. What are some exciting trends that will be making the industry, more efficient?
Well, I think AI is super powerful and super important and will continue to make its way in terms of innovation and make the industry truly more automated. But I think what's important is that we don't lose the human touch and we focus on solving the very important problems that exist today, which is how do I make buying addressable TV really easy? How do I make it so that our advertisers of all sizes, whether they're the biggest holding companies or a local TV auto dealership, being able to buy that supply in a really seamless fashion with data? I think that's what's really exciting. And you're seeing the rise of self-service buying platforms. And Blockgraph itself has been focused on providing a way for advertisers to, without a lot of intervention, use their data to both buy and measure addressable video of all types. And that's a really exciting development. I think that we'll see continue into next year.
Jason, so it's been a little bit over 4 years since Blockgraph has been a thing. Tell us, how's it going and sort of what role Blockgraph plays in the industry?
Thanks, Andy. Blockgraph itself is a joint venture. Blockgraph was invented, as you said, 4.5 years ago in May of 2020. And the company provides three things. It is a universal household ID for the TV industry to use. It's a data collaboration platform for targeting, for measurement. And it's an ecosystem of companies who have data and want to work together. So that is what Blockgraph is. And what we've been doing is we've been growing both in terms of the TV side of the business. So all of the pay TV operators, we've got many of the pay TV operators currently as customers and users of our platform. And we're also working with a lot of agencies, brands of all sizes, some of the largest holding companies, but also some local advertisers who use us to both measure and attribute as well as target the right audiences.
So looking at the state of the industry and this gathering today, what do you hope changes, or what productive changes can be made before we meet again next year in terms of addressability?
I think we have to talk in really simple terms, Andy. I think too often we use acronyms and really complex words to describe what we're doing, but we're really talking about reaching an audience, measuring an outcome, and doing that in premium video content. So I hope that when we talk about addressable next year, it's not about the mechanics, but it's really about helping advertisers tap into a really, really valuable type of media and do that in a way that moves their business forward. So I think in order to get there, we need to open it up. We need to remove barriers to buying, and we need to do that in a way that is seamless for advertisers. And that's what I'm most excited about this year.
And some takeaways from today's event.
Well, I heard a couple of things. Number one, addressable is not just a precision vehicle. It's a vehicle that can be used to add reach to a campaign. The other thing that we heard a lot was the importance of the household and being able to understand which household is actually being exposed to the media. And it's not just about people and emails and devices. It's about being able to understand which households are actually being reached. And the third thing that I heard is that addressable is a really valuable media that is already a must buy for many advertisers.